안녕하세요 여러분. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So things I grew to like about my life in Korea and things I just still can't get used to. For me personally, coming from the US in Philadelphia, if you bump into someone or you're walking too close to someone or you're on the subway and you accidentally just graze someone with your arm, you absolutely 100% have to say, excuse me. And so first coming to Korea, I would take line number 2 in Seoul, the green line, and I would get on and people would bump me, or I'd be on the elevator, or I'd be just waiting somewhere and an old person or even a young person would bump me and not say anything. At first I was really not okay with this because if you do this where I'm from and you don't say excuse me, you're gonna really upset people, and some people might actually say something to you and there would be an issue, okay? The reason why I got used to this and I actually like not saying, sorry after every time you bump someone is because, if you're taking a bus, if you're taking a subway and there's always a lot of people there, if it's always crowded, you're gonna bump somebody. Like, that's obvious. You should expect that every time you get on line number 2 in Seoul. And so saying sorry every time you get bumped seems a little bit unnecessary, especially because almost every time it's accidental. There's so many people in Seoul, I live in Seoul, and not having to say sorry after every single time you bump someone is actually really nice. One thing I can never get used to though is, and I'm sorry my Korean brothers and sisters, goguma on pizza. This is a sin where I'm from. I love pizza, I grew up with pizza, everybody loves pizza, Koreans love pizza, Europeans love pizza, but goguma on pizza, I just can't get used to it. Anyway, so in this video I interviewed people from all around the world, asking them the question, what's something you grew to like in Korea and what's something you still can't get used to? I got some really interesting answers. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin.
I'm from Japan.
I'm from New York City.
I'm from Boston. I wouldn't say I never liked it, but in the US we hug when we greet people, and I really like the bowing. Like, I really like it. Or even just like, 안녕하세요. We also have this weird thing that we like smile at people when you recognize them, you just go. And that makes me so uncomfortable, and I so much prefer just bowing. It's like a respectful way of saying I acknowledge you, but not inciting a need to have small talk. Yeah. Like, I love that there's no small talk here too.
There's a lot of things here that are different from America, especially different from Brazil. Because like in my culture, like in Brazil, like we like to be like show affection, like give people hugs and do that. I know in Korea it's like kind of a big no-no to do like touching and all that. And so I guess that's one thing where like I kind of feel uncomfortable. But then again, it's not my culture and I have to be respectful towards their culture. Yeah. And also adapt to it since I'll be living here for a year.
In Japan, I really hesitate to ask some questions to people, but right here, feel more comfortable. Like, I asked Ajumma, Ajoshi, how to go, where's this super small like local supermarket. There was so nice.
Can't do that in Japan?
I think, but people's like busy. I'm from Tokyo, so because of that, people like this way.
Yeah, they go out of their way to help you out.
Ooh,
super nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're from Belgium.
I don't have many bad experiences here at all, but I think I also have like more positive stereotypes associated with me because we're from Europe, we're young females. I think we don't come off as threatening or unkind, or I don't think there are many bad stereotypes about us. That's one of the reasons like we don't experience many discomfort of that.
So you don't feel like anybody's like scared of you?
Not scared, but people are definitely shy to talk to you because they're not confident in their English. Well, it's not true. They speak it perfectly most of the time, or at least you can have a decent conversation. But yeah, people are shy to talk to you.
The thing that I don't like so much is that I just can't blend in, People see me from a mile away because of my hair, and it's like if you're having a bad day or you don't look your best, you want to kind of just disappear on the bus, but then there are people staring at you on the bus, so you can't really mix. Of course, that's normal as a foreigner.
Hey, how's it going? Where are you from?
The US. In Korea, you can pretty much walk almost anywhere. I mean, you can take other public transportation, but at first I didn't really like the walking because where I'm from, I drive everywhere because you couldn't get away with walking. But I've grown to really like it. It's a good form of easy exercise. It's a good way to see a lot of the city and see things you wouldn't see if you were driving or taking the subway or a bus. For something that I didn't really grow to enjoy is it's actually really lonely here if you don't already have friends. It's really hard to make friends.
Did you come alone?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say you're more of an introvert?
Yes.
Do you think that that's possibly influencing the difficulty of making friends?
Yeah, because I know other people that I go to school with, they go out and they do make Korean friends because they go looking for them. I guess I haven't, because they have language exchanges and like meeting at clubs and like talking to strangers. It's easy-ish to make friends, but sometimes they're questionable friends if you meet them there. But
from the Netherlands. I was getting kind of ready to just have a difficult time making friends, especially Korean friends. And I was actually surprised of how easy for me it was to get some friends and to meet people and for them to also have a comfortable amount of English that they can speak.
Oh, so you're kind of surprised as to how well Koreans speak English, young
Yeah,
Koreans.
as well. Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? Where are you from?
Friends.
England.
Friends.
Everything's quite cheap. Like eating out, like drinks, Daiso. I bought like 10 things and it cost me £6 or something. So I didn't realise it would be quite so hot and humid. I knew it was like rainy season, but even so, it's more hot than I thought.
I'm from the Netherlands and I really wasn't so sure about the elevation differences, the way the hills flow and everything. But it ends up being a really charming thing, I think. I think it really adds to Korea as a general thing, especially in Seoul. Like you wouldn't think that hills and mountainsides in the middle of a city works, but it does work. It's pretty crazy.
That is the most unique answer I've ever heard. That's so interesting. You're talking just about the amount of slopes and hills and the general mountainous nature of Korea, right?
Yeah, because I'm from the Netherlands, I'm not used to any hills whatsoever, basically.
Netherlands is flat. For the most part.
Essentially, it's just flat. So I'm never so sure when I go to a region that is mountainous, like, am I going to like it? Because it's going to be a lot of uphill and downhill. But it's really not that bad. And honestly, I think it adds a certain charm to the region.
Totally agree. Unless if you're walking up a hill carrying groceries on an icy road to get to your home.
Don't do that. just don't is my advice, yeah.
Just let the delivery guys deal with that.
Hi, I'm from Paraguay. When I first came here, I thought the food was really sweet.
Goguma pizza.
Yeah. I became used to like the goguma or like the 옥수수 bean everywhere. And then compared to my country, like most of our food are like extremely salted.
There's not really a whole lot of room of like social spaces where you can just go up to random people and talk. I can't really approach someone in the street and talk to them like how like you can make small talk in the US or in Brazil. And so it is kind of like awkward at times just being out in Korea. But at the same time, you also have to figure out where these social spaces are, where you can go out and meet new people and you can go out and just talk with people and like make friends and go out together.
Sure. Interesting. So in Brazil or the US, this is just easier to do in general. Like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I would say so, because it's always like, you know, like you can be in an elevator and sometimes like something happens and you can just like make a comment about it and the other person can join in. But like usually if someone falls down on the street, a lot of people just kind of like just shift around and just move past. Just completely ignores like what happened in front of them.
Sure.
And just like move straight past.
Yeah. Maybe you're an extrovert. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean.
So you like the connection with people.
Yeah.
Even people you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been asked a lot like what my MBTI is, and so I found out I was an ENFJ, which is like one of the most extroverted personalities. So I was like, yeah, I guess I am an extrovert.
I'm from the UK, England to be exact. I think maybe Korean bathrooms, the wet room, because in the UK, the shower and the toilet are separate. The water only goes in the shower, in the bath, whereas in Korea, the water just goes everywhere. All in the bathroom, just up the walls. In the toilet, on the toilet, everywhere. And you know, originally I found that kind of a bit annoying, and it was just everything was damp. But now it's like, I don't know, it's kind of easy just to clean stuff now, because you just put a shower head up against the wall and then, you know, it's clean.
So true. What do you think in general about the houses and the types of houses in Seoul?
They're quite small. Apartments aren't that attractive. I mean, generally they're not attractive anyway, but...
Why, just too small?
The exterior is kind of just very concrete.
I guess in England you have like a lot of like real old housing.
Right.
Which is nice.
Yeah, whereas like in Korea it's just very much like concrete blocks.
Utilitarian.
Yeah.
Just for purpose.
Yeah. I guess originally I didn't really like that, but now, I don't know, I've just grown accustomed to it, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fine to me now.
Well, I've been to your place though, and I think you have like a really modern new place.
Yeah. The interior.
That must be nice.
The interior is lovely. Yeah, like the interior is really nice. I feel like in Korea, they do a lot of more renovating. You know, like everything is made new.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, they just keep the same old crap.
But there's a charm to the old stuff, right?
Yeah.
What do you think like the positive of renovating all the time would be?
It's clean.
Right.
And you know,
functional.
Yeah, and if you keep using the same stuff over and over, it gets kind of grimy.
So then, what's the difference between something getting grimy and used too much versus like a nice old house that has charm?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know exactly, but I guess from the materials. I'm not a housing expert. It's hard. But,
why aren't we using those materials everywhere? That's fine. So you made a really interesting comparison between the hyper modern and like very renovated, and it works really well, versus the charm of maybe your old England place, and both have positives.
Yeah.
And perhaps both have negatives too. The older stuff sometimes doesn't work as well. Hard to get replacements and parts for that. Newer stuff lacks a little bit of that soul.
Yes.
Soul in soul.
Yes, I completely agree.
I'm from Seattle, Washington. Like before coming here, I'd heard that the classes are like really brutal and that it's really like tough to get through and like not as many resources maybe. But like coming from the class I was just in, it was super like very chill, and the professor was like very easygoing and very kind. So that was very nice to learn, at least for that class, getting to know more.
So you're saying that Korea kind of has a stereotype of being just really rigorous.
I think a lot of Asian countries, like the study culture is very like known to be intense, but not as intense as I had heard.
All right guys, thank you so much for watching. Did you enjoy this video? If so, please let me know down in the comments. Once again, I'm Sean, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.